You call your bank, the voice agent works perfectly until it doesn't. A second of silence, a misheard interruption, a function call that times out, and the whole thing falls apart. Same building, two floors up from speech to text. This is the orchestration layer, the platform that connects everything else. It handles speech to text, the language model, text to speech, the phone line, interrupt detection, function calls to your business system, all in real time on a live call where every delay is something the caller notices. If speech to text is, the ears, and text to speech is the mouth, this is the glue. Or you can even think of it like a brain stem if you prefer. The part that makes sure that everything else does its job in the right order and at the right time. Now, what exactly is orchestrator? Orchestration, it is the layer that turns three or four AI components into a working voice agent. You give it your prompt, the personality, the rules, the goals. It hooks up the speech to text, a language model, text to speech, and a phone number. It manages who's talking, you or the agent. It detects when you interrupt, when you've finished speaking, or when you are thinking. It calls out to your CRM, your calendar, even your payment processor. It's also where the most expensive failures happen. Every layer below works fine in isolation, and the orchestrator is the thing that has to make them work together, live in real time. If a voice agent feels off, if there are awkward pauses, or if there is a wrong response, or even a dropped call, the orchestrator is the most likely culprit. Now, there are six platforms that you will keep running into. Vapi, it is the most adopted hosted platform. It has a visual flow editor, 1500 integrations, broad model, and voice choice. Headline price is 5 to 13 cents per minute. Though once you bring your own language model, the text to speech, and the text to speech, then the real cost, it can hit 30 cents or more. Then comes Retell. Retell, it focuses on conversational quality, strong turn taking, the natural rhythm of speaking and listening. And I've already reviewed it on this channel. It scored a 29 out of 60 on the Press Series scorecard, but that was a couple of months ago. So maybe, a lot would have changed since then. So maybe it's time for another review for Retell. Then comes Bland. Bland, it's the outbound specialist. It is optimized for high volume dialer campaigns, concurrent calls. Honestly, it's the best fit if outbound is the entire use case. Then it's Pipecat. Pipecat is an open source, a framework from Daily for teams that want full control. It's now at version 1. You operate the runtime and nobody bills you per minute. Then LiveKit. LiveKit agents build on top of what LiveKit's real-time media, and it kind of builds on top of the LiveKit's real-time media infrastructure. So it's strong for teams that need like WebRTC, multi-agent setups, or already use LiveKit for video and audio. And last, the SynthFlow. It's a no-code play. It's visual builder, fast deployment, popular with agencies. It trades flexibility for speed. Now, 4 things to look at when picking one. First is the build speed. Hosted platforms, they get you to a working agent in an afternoon. Open frameworks might take a week or two, but you own what you build. Latency budget, end-to-end response time is sum of every layer. You have to add to speech to text, language model, text to speech, plus the orchestrator overhead. Hosted platform, they add 50 to 200 milliseconds on top of the rest. Frameworks let you tune it down to almost nothing. Then the telephony reliability. Voice agents live or die on call quality. Clean audio, accurate interrupt detection, voice activity detection, smooth turn taking. The best demos hide these problems. Production volume exposes them. And last, lock-in. Hosted platform, they manage everything for you, including pricing, model choice, and what happens when their margins ship. Frameworks, they give you control with the cost of operating it. So honestly, the right answer depends on how big your call volume is and how badly you'll be hurt if the vendor changed their terms tomorrow. Now, the catch here is that hosted orchestration platforms, they look cheap on the landing page. 5 cents per minute, 13 cents per minute, but the headline assumes that you're using their bundled providers. The moment you bring your own language model or your own speech to text or your own text to speech, the real cost, it climbs to 20 to 30 cents per minute. For a voice agent making 1,000 calls a day at 5 minutes each, that's the difference between $300 a month and $3,000. So most teams, they find out only after the contract is signed. Now, where is this heading? What's happening to the orchestration layer? So this orchestration layer, it is getting squeezed from 2 sides. From below, the telephony providers like, Telnex are launching their own voice AI platforms, owning the entire stack from the edge compute to the call. From the above, end-to-end voice models from OpenAI, Google, Hume, they're absorbing the speech-to-text and text-to-speech layers into a single model, leaving the orchestrator with less to orchestrate. In 2 years, the orchestration layer might compress from being a separate platform where you pay per minute to a thin runtime wrapper around an end-to-end model. Years of running voice agents in production, it taught me one thing about this layer. Choose your orchestrator for the call that fails, not the call that demos. That's it for the glue. Next episode would be around end-to-end voice models, where the stack, it starts to disappear. Please subscribe so that you don't miss it. Thank you.